Have you ever stood over your kitchen trash can, carefully peeling the skin off a chicken breast or trimming away the gristle and dropped it right into the bin? I want you to pause and really visualize that moment for a second. We do it almost automatically, don't we? We've been trained for decades to look at that skin, that connective tissue, and that gelatinous cartilage as nothing but bad fat or waste. But what if I told you that by throwing that away, you are discarding the very building blocks that could help smooth out the deep lines on your face, stop your knees from aching when you climb the stairs, and even help you sleep through the night without waking up? It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? The idea that the fountain of youth isn't in a $200 cream from the department store, but actually hiding in the parts of the bird we've been told to fear. But here is the reality. Nature didn't design food to be wasted. And modern science is finally catching up to what our ancestors knew instinctively. There is a hidden culprit behind the rapid aging of our skin and the stiffening of our joints. And it's not just a passage of time, it's a nutritional deficiency of specific amino acids and compounds that we simply stopped eating when we switched to boneless, skinless, sterilized diets. In this conversation today, we are going to change the way you look at your dinner plate. I am going to walk you through exactly why that chicken skin and those bones are the ultimate superfood for seniors. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to turn those scraps into a golden jelly that acts like medicine for your body. Before we dive into the science that could change your life, I'd love to invite you to join our community here. If you are looking for health advice that respects your intelligence and focuses on the senior years, please consider subscribing. We share the kind of deep dive health tips that doctors often overlook in those rushed 15-minute appointments. And I am curious, where are you watching from today? Are you sitting with a cup of coffee in a rainy London, or maybe enjoying the sunshine in Florida? Let me know in the comments below. It's always wonderful to see how far our family reaches. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter. The first major component we need to talk about, and this is perhaps the most surprising one for many people, is the profound impact of a specific protein found abundantly in chicken skin and cartilage, known as collagen, and its best friend, hyaluronic acid. You have probably seen hyaluronic acid advertised on every bottle of anti-aging serum in the pharmacy. They tell you to rub it on your face, but here's the secret. Your body needs to build it from the inside out. When you consume the skin of the chicken, particularly if it has been cooked down properly, you are ingesting a rich source of bioavailable collagen peptides and hyaluronic acid. Why does this matter? Well, think of your skin like a mattress. The springs inside the mattress are the collagen fibers. They keep it bouncy and firm. The stuffing between the springs that keeps everything plump, that's hyaluronic acid. As we age, we lose both. However, a landmark study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology demonstrated that oral supplementation of collagen peptides, exactly the kind found in the food matrix we are discussing, significantly increased skin hydration after just 8 weeks. The study showed a measurable fragmentation of the collagen network decreased significantly, meaning the skin actually repaired itself. Imagine a dry sponge sitting on your counter. It's hard, brittle, and if you bend it, it cracks. That is your skin without adequate hydration and collagen. Now, imagine pouring water onto that sponge. It swells, it becomes soft, and it becomes flexible. That is what happens when you reintroduce these compounds into your diet. Instead of fearing the skin because of calories, you can start seeing it as a hydration delivery system. So the actionable takeaway here is simple. When you roast a chicken, do not discard the skin. If the texture bothers you, you don't have to eat it rubbery. Crisp it up in the oven until it's like a chip, or better yet, simmer it into the broth we will discuss later. You are literally eating the building blocks of a smoother face. Moving on to our next vital point, we have to talk about the joints. I know many of you watching this might wake up in the morning feeling like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, stiff, creaky, and needing an oil can. That stiffness is often due to the wearing down of cartilage and the drying out of the synovial fluid, which is the lubrication between your joints. This brings us to the magic of chondroitin sulfate and glucosamine, both of which are naturally occurring in the gristle and cartilage of the chicken, the parts we usually trim off. When you make a broth from these parts, you are extracting these compounds in a way your body can easily absorb. A comprehensive meta-analysis published in the International Journal of Rheumatic Diseases looked at various studies regarding collagen derivatives and joint pain. They found that for people suffering from osteoarthritis, collagen hydrolysate, which is essentially what you get when you break down chicken skin and bones into a gelatinous broth, can significantly reduce pain scores and improve physical function. Think of your joints like a rusty door hinge. You can try to ignore the squeaking, or you can force it open, which causes damage. But if you introduce the right lubrication, which is what this nutrient dense chicken connective tissue provides, the hinge starts to glide again. It's not about masking the pain with a pill. It's about feeding the tissue what it needs to repair. So here is what you do. When you buy chicken, stop paying extra for the boneless, skinless breast. Buy the whole bird, or at least the thighs with the bone and skin on. When you eat the meat, save every single bone, every piece of gristle, and every scrap of skin you didn't eat. Put them in a bag in your freezer. That bag is your future pain relief kit. Now, let's pivot to something that affects us all, but rarely gets connected to what we eat for dinner. Sleep and mental calmness. This is where the skin aspect becomes incredibly fascinating because chicken skin and connective tissue are incredibly rich in a specific amino acid called glycine. Muscle meat, the chicken breast, is high in methionine, but low in glycine. In our modern diet, we eat way too much muscle meat and not enough skin and gelatin, creating an imbalance. Why should you care about glycine? Because it is nature's sleeping pill. Glycine acts as an inhibitory neurotransmitter, which is a fancy way of saying it calms the brain down. A study published by the Japanese Society of Sleep Research found that subjects who took glycine before bed experienced a faster onset of sleep and, crucially, reported less fatigue and clearer thinking the next morning. The study showed that glycine actually helps lower your core body temperature, which is a necessary biological signal for your body to enter deep sleep. Imagine your brain is a busy highway during the day with cars honking and traffic jamming up. Glycine is like the traffic controller that steps in at night, clears the road, and puts up the quiet zone signs so the maintenance crews can come in and repair the potholes. If you are just eating the muscle meat, you aren't getting enough of this traffic controller. You are staying in that high alert state. So the advice here is to view that gelatinous, sticky quality of chicken soup, which comes from the skin and bones, not as grease, but as a dose of tranquility. If you struggle with insomnia or just waking up tired, increasing your intake of these gelatinous cuts could be the missing puzzle piece. If you are finding this information helpful so far, and if you are starting to look at that rotisserie chicken a little differently, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us get this message out to other seniors who might be struggling with these same issues. Let's go deeper into the body, specifically to the gut. We hear so much about leaky gut and digestive issues as we age. Our stomach acid gets weaker and our intestinal lining can become thinner, more permeable. This is where the gelatin found in chicken skin and cartilage becomes your best friend. When you cook down chicken skin and bones, the collagen turns into gelatin. Gelatin contains glutamine, an amino acid that is the preferred fuel source for the cells lining your intestine. A study in the journal Nutrients highlighted the role of glutamine in maintaining the integrity of the intestinal barrier. It effectively helps seal the gaps in the gut lining, preventing toxins from leaking into your bloodstream and causing inflammation. If you think of your gut lining like a brick wall that protects your fortress, inflammation and age can knock the mortar out from between the bricks. Gelatin is the fresh mortar. It spackles those cracks and restores the integrity of the wall. This is why traditionally broth was always given to the sick. It wasn't just for hydration, it was gut medicine. If you have been suffering from bloating, indigestion, or just sensitive reactions to foods you used to love, the solution might be in the stock pot. Action step, make the chicken jelly we are about to discuss a daily ritual. A warm cup in the morning acts as a soothing balm for your entire digestive tract. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I can almost hear the hesitation through the screen. But doctor, what about the fat? Won't eating chicken skin clog my arteries and raise my cholesterol? This is a fear that was drilled into us in the 1980s and 92nds, and it is a very hard habit to break. But we need to look at the modern data. Chicken fat, also known as schmaltz, is actually quite balanced. It contains monounsaturated fat, the same heart healthy fat found in olive oil, along with saturated fat. The narrative that saturated fat is the sole driver of heart disease has been heavily challenged and revised in recent years. A massive review published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, which looked at data from over 600,000 participants, found that current evidence does not support guidelines which encourage low consumption of total saturated fats to prevent coronary disease. The real enemy is often processed sugar, inflammation, and oxidized industrial seed oils, not the natural fats found in whole foods. Think of it this way: your body makes its own cholesterol because it is essential for brain function and hormone production. Your brain is 60% fat. Starving it of healthy natural fats is like trying to run a high performance car without oil. It creates friction. While we obviously don't want to deep fry the skin in inflammatory vegetable oils, eating the skin that naturally comes on the bird, roasted or boiled, provides the lipids your body needs to absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. You cannot absorb these vital vitamins without fat. So, by throwing away the skin, you are also throwing away the taxi that drives the vitamins into your cells. So, how do we put this all together? I promised you a way to make chicken jelly. This isn't just soup. This is a concentrated extraction of all those youth preserving nutrients we just discussed: the hyaluronic acid, the glycine, the collagen, and the minerals. Here is the protocol, and it is simpler than you think. You need to start accumulating parts. Every time you have chicken, save the carcass, save the wingtips, save the skin, even the feet. If you can find chicken feet at your butcher, get them. They are the absolute highest source of collagen. A study in the Journal of Food Science and Technology specifically analyzed chicken feet and found them to be a superior source of collagen extraction compared to other parts. Once you have about 2 pounds of these scraps, put them in a slow cooker or a large pot, cover them with water. Now, here is the secret ingredient you must not skip. Add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Why? The acid in the vinegar helps to demineralize the bones, pulling out calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus into the water so you can drink them. Let this simmer low and slow. I'm talking 12 to 24 hours. You want the bones to be so soft they crumble when you press them. Strain the liquid and let it cool in the fridge. When you wake up the next morning, it should not be liquid. It should be a jiggly, firm gel like Jello. That jiggle is the visual proof that you have successfully extracted the collagen. That is the chicken jelly. You can drink a cup of this warm every day or use it as the base for soups and stews. But here is one final power tip to make it work even better. Collagen synthesis in the body requires vitamin C as a cofactor. You cannot build the collagen helix without it. A study in the International Journal of Cosmetic Science showed that vitamin C directly triggers DNA to regulate and maintain the intercellular amount of collagen. So here is the synergy. When you drink your warm chicken jelly broth, squeeze a fresh lemon into it or have some bell peppers on the side. The vitamin C acts as the key that unlocks the door, allowing the collagen from the chicken to actually rebuild your skin and joints. Imagine the collagen's the bricks and the vitamin C is the construction workers. You need both to build the house. Let's take a breath and summarize what we've covered because we've gone deep today. We have learned that the skin and cartilage of the chicken, which we've been told to throw away, are actually dense sources of hyaluronic acid and collagen that hydrate our skin and lubricate our joints. We discovered that the amino acid glycine found in these tissues is a powerful sleep aid and detoxifier. We looked at how gelatin heals the gut wall, and we debunked the fear of natural fats. And finally, you now have the blueprint for chicken jelly, a slow simmered, vinegar infused elixir that captures all these benefits in a cup. I want to leave you with this thought. Aging is inevitable, but decay is optional. Much of the pain, the stiffness, and the frailty we associate with getting older is actually a result of malnutrition, not a lack of calories, but a lack of these specific structural nutrients that hold us together. You have the power to change that. You have the power to take control of your kitchen and, by extension, your health. It is not about expensive medications or complicated surgeries. Sometimes It is as simple as respecting the whole animal and nourishing your body with the wisdom of the past. Your health is worth fighting for. It is worth that extra 10 minutes of prep time. It is worth saving the bones because when you keep your joints moving and your mind sharp, you are protecting your independence. And frankly, nothing tastes as good as independence feels. I would love to hear from you now. Does this change how you plan to shop for groceries this week? Are you willing to try making the chicken jelly? Type yes in the comments if you're ready to try it, or ask me a question if you are unsure about the recipe. I read the comments and I love seeing your progress. If you found value in this, please click that like button and share this with a friend who might be complaining about their knees. You might just change their life. And don't forget to subscribe so we can continue this journey to better health together. Remember, don't throw away the skin, it's the best part. Until next time, here's to your health.